Hello, and welcome to the Reselling Report for today, Tuesday, June 2nd, 2020. I'm your host, Ann Eckhart, and every weekday morning I upload the Reselling Report here to YouTube to update you on the day's retail and e-commerce news, including the latest from eBay, Amazon, Etsy, and Poshmark. If you haven't done so already, I hope you'll subscribe. And now let's get on with today's show. Well, welcome to Tuesday, everyone. I hope that everyone is well wherever they may be, whether you are still isolating at home or trying to stay home as much as possible, whether you are venturing out into the world of the coronavirus. And of course, we cannot overlook what is happening here in America with the unrest over the killing of George Floyd at the hands of Minneapolis police. The protests continue, and some of those do turn violent, and there's been some rioting and looting in certain places. And as I said yesterday, it's just a very sad, scary, heartbreaking time here in America, and as I'm sure as the world watches what is going on here. I did have some questions about the delays that's occurring in some delivery services due to the unrest in certain areas. The delivery services are being paused in some places. I don't think in most places, but in some places. There is a new post over on CNBC that says live updates, ride-sharing delivery services pause in light of protest curfews. Cities across America are reeling from a weekend of unrest during protests that erupted after George Floyd died during an arrest in Minneapolis. The unarmed black man died after a white Minneapolis police officer knelt on his neck for nearly 9 minutes despite cries from Floyd that he could not breathe. Many local governments instituted curfews over the weekend in an effort to dissolve mass gatherings. Still, the protests continued into the early hours of Monday in some places. CEOs and business leaders are largely voicing support for the demonstrators and calling for aggressive and intentional efforts to reduce socioeconomic inequalities. And then there is Lyft, Uber, and DoorDash are suspending services in some of those areas due to curfews. And then some delivery services are also shutting down temporarily or just pausing things while their delivery drivers can be out safely. I don't think this is going to affect much in terms of those of us who are resellers and who ship every day. As long as you're shipping every day, you're utilizing carrier pickup, or you take things to the post office if you're going early in the day, afternoon. But I did want to mention that just to be aware. I haven't seen anything from the reselling sites themselves in terms of a disruption to delivery. And to be honest, I wouldn't worry about it. There's a lot more going on right now. And eBay and other sites are protecting delivery through July 1st now, I believe, due to the coronavirus pandemic. So any delays that you might see in your area with shipping regarding the protesting should be minor and should hopefully resolve. I personally wouldn't worry about it. But in case you are worried about it, you can always call. Don't call. They're not open. Contact them on their Facebook pages if you have a package go out and there is a delay. You can always message a buyer directly and say, hey, our post office is limiting service right now. I honestly wouldn't worry about it. There's obviously a lot more going on than that, but I did want to address it because I did have some questions about it. eBay's new CEO, Jamie Iannone, did post a message on LinkedIn today in regards to the current unrest here in America. It reads, "Heartbroken, exhausted, infuriated, horrified. These are the words that many of us are saying and emotions we're experiencing in response to the most recent senseless killings in the U.S. of Ahmaud Arbery, Breonna Taylor, and George Floyd. We wonder how we got to this moment, asking how this is possible today. The reality is that we in America have not yet left our terrible legacy of racism and violence behind. Right now, during the global pandemic, we're all in the habit of saying, stay safe, and I hope you and your family are safe and healthy. This moment exposes two difficult realities. Many of our Black colleagues, friends, neighbors never feel completely safe, not at work, in a car, sidewalk, park, or even their own home. This is often true for people of color from all backgrounds. And communities of color are being disproportionately affected by COVID-19 in the U.S. And although I can't fully understand what the Black community and people of color experience on a daily basis, I am committed to learning more. And I can make clear to everyone that this company stands for justice. Racism, bigotry, xenophobia, and bias, whether blatant or implicit, is contrary to who we are at eBay, period. This situation impacts many of our eBay colleagues on a personal level. To everyone who is hurting, we see you, we acknowledge you, and we stand with you. We're here for anyone who needs support. Our People Experience team is ready to help, and the Employee Assistance Program is available at all times. And that's for people who actually work for eBay. Post goes on to say, it's an excruciating time for many people across the U.S. For those outside the U.S., all this news must be confusing or perplexing, but I wanted to include you in the conversation. As colleagues, let's be there for each other. The eBay leadership team and I are committed to listening, learning, and acting to help make sure eBay remains a force for good and a safe place to work for all of us. We empower people and create opportunity for all. This is why we work so hard every day. Our purpose inspires and pushes us to the best versions of ourselves. Let's talk openly and honestly. Let's listen with our whole hearts and minds. Jamie. So that is a nice post from the new eBay CEO. Perhaps we can see what eBay can do directly for sellers who are of color, who utilize eBay sites. But we shall see in the days and weeks ahead what continues to unfold. But it is nice to see eBay speak out on the issue. Poshmark has also addressed the situation over on their Facebook page. It says that they believe in the power of community and that together we will create a more equal and just world. And then it is followed by a graphic that reads, "Our hearts are heavy with the tragic acts of violence and racism in America today. We stand in solidarity with the Black community and like most vulnerable during this time of crisis. We believe in the power of community and that together we will create a more equal and just world." And there are quite a few comments on this post. The first one says, maybe you should put your money where your mouth is and not allow people to sell their Confederate flag crap. That's a good point. Didn't even know that was on there. But yeah, well, that's interesting. So anyway, a very good discussion going over there on the Poshmark Facebook page if you'd like to go and read more about it. Poshmark has gotten a nice write-up on the MediaPost.com site. Poshmark Savvy signals new gig spirit. The article reads, sure, you've thought about cleaning out your closets, but while you've been slacking through your safer-at-home springtime, ambitious people have been making serious money, selling their used clothes on Poshmark. And some think these savvy doers may even be on the leading edge of a new gig economy. This is what's funny. So this article, let me just interrupt before I read the whole thing. But yeah, like this is new. Some of these sites and just people in general don't realize that reselling is an actual business that's been around forever. And it's like, wow, people are selling things on Poshmark. They're selling things online. Could this be a new economy? But let's keep reading the article to see what they have to say. Poshmark is making it easier to do. The used clothing platform recently launched Posh Stories, a feature that lets people share short-form, shoppable videos, adding photos directly into the app. That's one more way Poshmark's 8 million sellers and 60 million users can get one another excited about gently used fashion. Users can add more personality to their offerings through the 15-second stories, which disappear after 48 hours. The Redwood City, California-based social commerce company says the videos add new dimensions to how the community connects, browses, and shops, making the treasure hunting more engaging. That's especially meaningful in the era of COVID-19, with so many people looking to earn extra money. Last year, Poshmark sellers earned more than $2 billion. From mid-March to mid-April, sales were up 50%. So the article does go on. It will be linked in the show notes below if you want to read it. But I just kind of had to laugh like, oh, is this a new economy? Selling online? What? We've never heard. Yeah, this has been going on. But yeah, it is interesting to hear other people's perspectives on our reselling sites and reselling business in general. Have Poshmark stories rolled out to everyone? I do not believe they have yet, but let me know if you have access to them and if you've been utilizing them to promote your Poshmark closet. The COVID-19 pandemic has been devastating to retail. We've seen a number of store closures and bankruptcy announcements. Now, some of those retailers will continue to stay open while they go through bankruptcy. Some can no longer hold on. We know Pier 1 Imports is folding, and now another one is Gordman's. Now, I don't know if you guys have Gordman's where you live. I think it's kind of more here in the Midwest, Central America area, we have them. They are kind of like a more neatly arranged TJ Maxx, I always think of. Whereas you go into TJ Maxx and there's a lot of one-off stuff, Gordman's will have a whole collection. And it's a nice store. I really like it. Some stores that were newly built in the past few years are really, really nice. I used to source them a lot for resale. And unfortunately, Gordman's is joining the ranks of the stores that are actually closing down. So store closing sales are going on in the stores that are open. They do have some online shopping available. Nope, I take that back. You can't shop online anymore. So I just looked. Nope. So yeah, store closing sales. Most stores are now open, but of course it depends on where you are in the country. Now, Gordman's, I think, is a good one to watch to get items to resell. They don't have other stores or, a brand to send stuff to, which places like, Macy's and Nordstrom's, they will pull their good stock and send it to other stores if they're closing a store. But Gordman doesn't really have that. They were already kind of a liquidator. So we shall see what their sales look like. Right now it says 10 to 40% off everything in terms of lowest price. But usually when stores get down to the last few days is when you want to hit them. I will be keeping an eye on my Gordman's here. It's not yet reopened, but it's kind of sad that now these stores that are still closed, when they reopen, it's to close again. So anyway, let me know if you have a Gordman's in your area. I will definitely miss them. I would go there and do like gift shopping it was good for, and like I said, for resale, but also just stuff for my own life and home. So RIP Gordman's, you gave it a good fight. And finally today, if you follow Gary, I don't know how to say his name, Gary V. I think everybody calls him Gary V. There's a new interview with him on CNBC.com, how to make the most of a huge TikTok opportunity. TikTok's popularity has exploded through the COVID-19 pandemic, creating profitable new opportunities for content creators and influencers alike. There's an enormous amount of people watching right now, says serial entrepreneur Gary V. And as many continue staying home, the early Uber, Twitter, and Snapchat investor advises that creators triple down on communicating through platforms like TikToks and warns of reopening. You can't win in the business world if you don't have your health. As people find new ways to connect through the coronavirus pandemic, TikTok, a platform that allows users to create short 60-second videos, went from being an app on the rise to a stay-at-home staple. In fact, its popularity has exploded. In the month of March alone, 28.8 million unique U.S. users flocked to the app, averaging 858 minutes of viewing each. Comedy, dance, lip-syncing, and other forms of talent have become the sweet spot for most content creators that have built up significant fan bases on the platform. For consumers, it's no surprise that the lighthearted nature of the content has given TikTok its moment. And for creators, it's built a massive opportunity. One such user is making $10,000 a month from being on TikTok for just 4 hours a day. There's an enormous amount of people watching right now, says Gary V. I took advantage of the moment in time that TikTok is in right now, which is a little more positive, pro, happy, lighthearted, and I thought the momentum was built. And it did. While TikTok has proven to be a profitable side hustle for many users who have leveraged their following and landed sponsorship deals, it's also become a tool for doing good throughout the pandemic. Earlier this week, what is his last name? Vaynerchuk? I'm sorry, V, who has just over 4 million users on the platform, orchestrated a live 12-hour TikTok telethon where he raised $2.3 million for the All-In Challenge, benefiting Meals on Wheels. And the article does go on, but I just wanted to point out TikTok and how you can utilize it for your reselling business by putting content there and getting people to link to your YouTube channel, link to Instagram, get a following that may end up leading to your reselling site. So let me know, are you utilizing TikTok? Are you using it for fun, or are you using it for your business, or are you not using it at all and not at all interested? Leave me a comment below. And that's a wrap on today's show. If you liked it, please be sure to give it a thumbs up and leave me a comment, just a hello or an emoji. is great with the engagement of YouTube's algorithm, and I appreciate it. Also, check out the show notes below the video for links to the articles I referenced. You can email me your questions or reseller stories. My email is also below. Thank you so much for listening. I will talk to you again tomorrow. Have a good day, and please stay safe. Bye.